Can you hear my background music or background stuff?
I can't. Am I supposed to?
No. That's the whole point.
Good. Then yes. Nope. We're good.
I think we are now live. Perfect. All right. I'm just going to do intro and stuff, and then we can go from there.
Sounds great.
Today on the show, we have Chelsea Craig, founder of Rhino Reviews and the Reputation Hero. In 2018, Chelsea found, wow, I can't even read today. In 2018, Chelsea founded Rhino Reviews with the goal of supporting businesses and their need to have an honest and positive reputation in the digital space has evolved due to feedback from other clients about how we can best support them. And that was totally off your copy of your thing, but it is. Chelsea has worked with 80 businesses in all industries, including luxury, construction, digital, energy, property management, healthcare, retail, hospitality, and education to help build and repair their online reputation by growing, leveraging their online reviews. And that was with one breath.
Wow.
Well, why don't we start off by learning a little about you? Maybe a quick bio.
Yeah, thanks. I'm really excited just to have the opportunity to talk with you today. A little background about me, as you kind of already covered with the little synopsis. Rhino Reviews were a little over 2 years old. Me personally, I as you said, founded the company about 2 years ago. I'm both reputation management and Google certified, and really just love having the opportunity to work with clients in all different industries, learn about their businesses, and support them in any way that I can. That's the professional side. The more fun personal side is also had the opportunity to move to Philadelphia a couple of years ago when all this started. So I'm a transplant here, and really just loving, well, prior to COVID, having the opportunity to explore the city and get to know the culture and kind of the unique identity that is Philadelphia. Obviously now with COVID, things are looking a little different in quarantine. But if anyone has new Netflix recommendations or anything, feel free to reach out after the show and provide them, because much like everyone else, I'm going a little stir crazy.
Yeah, I bet you are. Well, for those who might not be familiar with what you do or with Rhino Reviews, can you give us like a small rundown of it and what it can do for small merchants?
Yeah, it's a great point. So Rhino Reviews, as the internet and kind of social media has really been transforming businesses in the past couple of years, and even accelerated much more now due to COVID, their online presence became more and more important, and is only becoming more important as a way for customers to find them. When we are looking for, in its most simplistic form, if you're looking for a new restaurant to go to, a new doctor, perhaps you need a new dentist, we're now turning to Google for that recommendation. Everyone is seeking this social validation kind of in the digital space. If you need a new restaurant, you type in food near me, and you're judging where you're eating that evening based off of these stars and rankings on Google or the various platforms such as Yelp or another booking site. And what we found is that a lot of these small businesses, these reviews have a crucial effect upon their success, but they're already overwhelmed with, running their day-to-day of the actual business. And they need support both in how to, systemize and grow these reviews, but also to monitor, engage with these customers. And that was essentially what we set out to provide, a way to kind of automate and streamline the process for these businesses, and also offer solutions where it's kind of this hands-off, fully managed solution, so that we can ensure that their reputation is protected online, so that they can continue to develop and grow their business offline.
That's awesome. Yeah, we've met at some point, and we've definitely talked about a lot of this. Reviews are pretty hard. How did the company start?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a run-of-the-mill story, and I'll try and keep it concise and consolidated for you. It essentially was a string of weird coincidences. Everyone in my kind of personal network is entrepreneurs and has their own business. So I was a little bit of the anomaly, working at Frito-Lay and really drinking the corporate Kool-Aid. I stepped away from that to pursue my MBA, and during that time frame, was just kind of helping out some of my network, just with social media, and kind of a little bit of the online digital marketing, as that was something that was just entertaining to me. And within a 2-week time frame, 3 of the businesses that I was just helping received completely fake and false reviews. And I saw that the effect that it was having on their business, the effects that it was having on the owners just personally, because they take these reviews really to heart. These businesses are essentially their babies. Right. And I thought, there has to be a way to help, gather positive reviews so these negative ones don't hurt as badly, but also a way to, kind of make this whole process easier for them. And just from conversations with them, as well as other business owners, as we started to kind of go a little bit deeper, it has evolved since then. So, really a string of coincidences that brought us here today. And, we continue to look for customer and client feedback, considering that's how we were formed. These businesses know best what they need and what they're looking for. So we're always evolving and adding different options for our clients based off of what they see and what they need.
Yeah. Can you walk us through from get-go, how would you approach a merchant or obviously small restaurant or things like that, to go through sort of the process that you go involved in it, or to get that as a client?
Yeah, it's a great question and a great point. So one of the things we do if we're speaking to a current client is a simple Google of themselves. It sounds a little superficial and no one wants to Google themselves, but we always recommend that. Literally type in the business name and see what comes up, because this is what your customers are seeing. Put yourself in the customer's shoes. If you saw those Google results, would you be influenced to click on that business and learn more, to click on that business and order from them, become an active customer, or are those reviews kind of pushing you away? So we typically start off with a simple Google. We look at the amount of reviews they have, the amount of platforms that they're listed on, and the star ranking that they have for them personally. We then do the same thing with a couple of their competitors and see where they rank compared to them. Are you on the business listings and platforms that you need to be on? There's over 85 different business listing sites. If you're a doctor, for example, yes, there's Google, but there's ZocDoc, there's WebMD, there's HealthGrades. Are you listed and claimed on those platforms that are relevant for your industry? Is the information out there accurate and correct? A lot of that data is pulled from data scraping. So you want to make sure, are the phone numbers and the websites correct? And then for us, the most important, do you have reviews on those relevant platforms? If you do have reviews, are they positive? Are they responded to within a timely manner? So we kind of take each little step deeper and deeper to build out their full reputation kind of analysis. The last thing we do if someone has a great, if they have a lot of reviews out there, okay, so how are you leveraging these reviews? Are you streaming them back to your website? Are you using them in social media? What can we do to get creative with it? So it starts at its core. Just do a simple Google.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. What's the implication of obviously the current state of the world, and what have you seen, in the beginning of this and, through where we are now? I would imagine some of the restaurants are having a hard time. I've seen a whole bunch of bad reviews for no reason, really, including restaurants that are really, really struggling.
Yeah, and it's really a shame. Reviews, much like many things we're going through, are very polarizing. People tend to either write them when they absolutely love something or they absolutely hate it. And unfortunately, with everything going on right now, emotions are high across the board. So we are seeing kind of a larger impact with negative organic reviews. On the flip side of that, though, and what is great is we've done a lot of campaigns with clients, really just kind of leveraging and being honest with their customers about what they're going through. So typically when we're working with clients, what we do is create a process for them to be able to ask their customers for reviews whenever that transaction is finished, whether it's a meal, when, obviously immediately when they finish that meal, if they're, going to the doctors, whenever they're finished that appointment, or maybe when they purchase something, whenever they receive that item in the mail. What we've kind of shifted to the past couple months is changing up that campaign and really painting the picture of, hey, we're a small local business and we're struggling. If we've had the opportunity to serve you and you enjoyed, working with our company or, enjoyed the meal at our restaurant, please leave us a review. These reviews are huge and a great way to show support for us in the community. And we have seen a much higher return rate on those positive reviews when they're asked for. So it's a good way to try and balance the negatives that are going. The other thing that we're seeing just across the board is a lot more engagement, both positive and negative. The return rates from organic just negative reviews, as well as positive reviews within the campaigns, is much higher than normal. And our thought with that is people are online more than ever. They're looking to engage in any way possible. So from that standpoint, it is also a good time to really try and get out there in the digital space and speak with your customers, build that loyalty.
Right. Do you find that it just across the board, not even there's reviews on even like Facebook post when a restaurant or just a small merchant, has a negative reaction? Do you see people coming to their rescue a lot?
A lot, I would say no.
Okay.
And so it depends, I think, on the type of comment it is, and also on the business. I have seen situations where the business owner themselves has made it known that this is a completely fabricated situation and there's malicious intent with it. And in those situations, it is pretty great to see the community that they have that comes back and rallies through. The one-off reviews where they're a little bit more hidden and not as blasted, no, we don't see that. But what we do see and we are seeing is just comments in general on post, as well as direct messages to businesses is much higher. The positive comments on Facebook and Instagram to pictures, a lot of those kind of memories. Hey, we miss seeing you. We miss that. We are seeing that engagement a lot higher.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we just locally have seen, we're in a beach town, so we have a lot of young kids trying to work at places like ice cream shops, and people are, I just, in my mind, is like understanding people. It's like, it's not okay to be nasty in normal times. This is an extra time, like, to be, just don't do that, especially to kids who it's their first job. They're 14, 15, 16 years old. We've seen a whole bunch of comments from local restaurants, and it's like, what are you doing? And the beauty of kind of towns like we're in is that the town definitely comes back and goes, oh my God, who was that person? They'll go after it. In the play of like, we're here, we understand what's going on. We're here to help, and there's no need for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you. I mean, obviously at some point in time, negative reviews do serve a purpose, but taking things with a grain of salt right now, and that's where some of the businesses that we have been getting negative reviews with, we also deal with responding to them for our clients. And it's a lot of the e-commerce, for example, USPS is struggling across the board. I'm trying to mail. Yeah, if you have PSA, like if you need to mail a birthday card to someone, send it out 2 weeks early because it is taking forever to get there. And everybody knows that. We all see it. But businesses are getting slammed saying, hey, I received tracking, don't order from them. It took 4 weeks longer than normal. Or, and issues with furlough. I mean, businesses are hurting across the board. And so taking things with a grain of salt right now, maybe if you are frustrated, go on a walk, think about if you're still really frustrated before you write that review. But again, it's what you mentioned. It's that human factor. And you would think that people recognize that. But unfortunately, they don't. So it is great.
They don't see how that affects everything. I mean, I've dealt with it. Obviously, we do e-commerce, so we see it all the time. And right now, it's a struggle for everybody between logistics and getting stuff delivered. And people complain about USPS, but that's the cheapest way to ship stuff still. And as soon as you go into FedEx or UPS world, sure, you'll get it, but you're going to pay for it. And unfortunately, business can't afford it on them. Yeah, unfortunately, can't afford it on the margins they're running as it is. So yeah, I mean, there's no need. Like, you can talk to businesses and okay, like I've had this happen, and it's okay. I mean, we are in this world together.
Yeah, no, it's true. And what we're trying to do now is also like work with a lot of our clients on having those, identifying those kind of themes that we're seeing and having those conversations, or creating an FAQ or adding that in their kind of like post-sale follow-up, just bringing up those points that we're seeing are causing frustration and just trying to address them up front. So that we can hopefully kind of be proactive and say, hey, we are warning them about this. They'll know about it. So hopefully that prevents that review from coming through.
Yeah, and I like I said, we've seen that with some of our clients too, where they are putting that messaging on there. It's just like COVID messaging. You just have to do it.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's literally changing everything.
Yeah. Let's talk about company itself. I mean, you're private. Are you looking for investment? Is it sort of going as you go? Like, how big is the team? Like, we've talked about this for a while, and I know you adjusted some things along the way. How's it going?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I do want to take a step back for everyone that doesn't know, which is probably a lot of people. I could never thank you enough. I met you so that everyone can know about a year and a half ago, right after I started the company, due to Ashley Owens, who's a fabulous and wonderful person. I recommend everyone go out and meet her as well. But you and I had the opportunity to meet at one of her events. And
Mm-hmm.
you already know this, but for everyone on the line, I credit you with really kind of rescuing my business model. You helped me kind of revisit from a pricing structure as well as just an overall offerings and services, and really revolutionized. And I highly credit with one of the reasons that we're around right now.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no, thank you once again, like huge. But business, because of your wonderful words of wisdom and support, business is doing well. Obviously, due to COVID, everyone's kind of repivoting what their definition of well is. But we are, first of all, we're still here and we're open. So grateful every day for that. I am the owner operator, have some contracted employees to help as things ebb and flow. But as far as everything that we could have expected within the first 2 years, we're hitting our targets and some. So it's been really great. And I credit also just both yourself and then a lot of the clients we work with, and just an incredible network of people really providing feedback, coaching, and just anything and all of the above. I think the biggest thing I'm learning in this is even when you're a solopreneur, it truly takes a village, and your network and the support system and the coaches that you have are everything. So I've loved the 2 years. I'm excited with how things have gone. I look forward to figuring out what the next 2 years will look like. But yeah, it's going well.
Well, you just made me blush. Thanks.
Of course. No, I was honored.
Yeah. What are the biggest risk and challenges for you, or pain points that are like you kind of have to go through now? Obviously, a year ago was different than what is happening now, but what kind of pain points are you're kind of looking at?
Yeah, I think so. There's different levels of the pain points. For me, the one that immediately jumps, that I believe most entrepreneurs could relate to, is the struggle of staying out of the weeds every day and continuing to think big picture. I am by nature an executor. And what I mean by that is I am not the best. And again, while your advice was so helpful, I'm not the best with strategy. I'm a doer. You give me a to-do list and it will be done to the minute it is due. But taking a moment, taking a day out of my week, taking a couple hours, and really stepping back and looking at the strategy for the business of, okay, where are the goals that I have for the next 3, 6, 9 months, 2 years down the line, and what am I doing today? What's the execution that I'm pursuing to make sure that we're on track for those goals? And so I think stepping out of the weeds, stepping out of the line of fire for a minute, and remembering that I'm in charge of the strategy behind, not just the business. The other thing
Which is one of the hardest things too sometimes.
it is. It's so hard because those are, and it's with any business across the board. It's there's things that are fires. There's money making activities that you need to do, but there's also you need to make sure that you're aligned on a strategy and a goal standpoint.
Yep.
So I've worked with a couple stellar business coaches who I still work with, who were really absolutely amazing. And then kind of tying in with that is staying up to date and figuring out where the industry is going. The digital space changes so quickly, and making sure that what I'm providing, the service that I'm providing to my clients, is still relevant, as well as continuing to just educate myself, because in a year, things will look totally different. In a month, things look totally different. But making sure that I'm the most up to date and educated so that I can continue to provide the expertise that my clients know and expect from me. I think that's yeah. That
that's that.
I can continue listing pain points, but I don't think that list
okay.
is long.
What's one piece of advice that you give merchants right now during this crazy, strange time that we're in?
Yeah, I don't know if it's an across the board, and I think it's dependent upon brand. But one thing that I've seen a lot of companies do well, and I think that everyone can relate and is resonating well, is just be honest with your customers. I think being candid and being honest right now is being very well received. Things are hard across the board. And people are people, like we're looking for that human and authentic connection. And this is really a time to open and embrace that. I think a lot of the times, especially with this kind of social media heavy world that we live in, there was this pressure to portray this, perfectly well-run packaged business or perfectly well-run, packaged anything. And right now, no one is going through anything perfect or, anything, magazine worthy. So being honest with your customers about where you are, being honest about your journey, it's an opportunity to form like an authentic bond between your customers and you. And that loyalty and engagement is what will get you through right now, as well as continue to bring you back once things get to their normal level again.
Some kind of normalcy.
Yeah, whatever that might look like.
Right. So let's go back to you, because this, it's part about you. If you were not doing this, what would you be doing?
Ooh. That's a fabulous question. If I was not doing this, what would I be doing? From a work standpoint, I have truly no idea. If you would ask me 2 years ago if I thought I would be doing this, I would say no. I've always thought I was, you've really stumped me, Bart. This is wild. Gosh, what goes through my mind is, because I'm ranging from the, legitimate, I would be working at corporate, I think I'd be a sales manager, to I would have a cooking show.
All right, cooking show works. I like it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, no one would want to eat what I cook. And my last, and this is I deny it if you heard it, but at my last apartment, I will admit that I took down all the fire alarms, because every time I cooked, I would set them off. So I just decided it was better to not have fire alarms.
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea.
Right? Yeah. No, I don't know. I love, I truly love anything with a team. And, feeling like I'm supporting the team. So right now I feel like I support my clients with that, but I think I'd do something with that. I love sales and engaging and talking to people. So from a more kind of professional side, probably some type of sales manager. But passion side, yeah, I'd like to cook and learn how to stop burning everything I make.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, our final question. What's the last thing you bought online?
The last thing that I bought online. Ooh, it's actually a secret. And I'm not trying to avoid. I can give some details. One of my friends is about to do something pretty life-changing in their personal life. And it's supposed to happen actually tomorrow. So I bought them a surprise celebration present.
Oh,
yeah, that's a hook, isn't it? I'm really putting a teaser out there.
All right. So well, I'll take that.
Yes.
I'll take that. We don't need to reveal what it is. Keep people in suspense. What? Right? Yeah. So, all right. Shameless plug. Plug anything you like, where people can find you online, how they can contact you, all the fun things.
Yeah, shameless plug. I love it. You can learn more just about our process and what we do at rhinoreviews.com. It's Rhino-Reviews. Additionally, if you're looking to, stay on top of any updates or just learn more again about the review industry, follow us on LinkedIn. We frequently post updates on Google, as well as different services that we're offering our clients, Facebook as well. And lastly, if you'd like to reach me directly, my email is Chelsea, CHELSEA, at rhino-reviews.com. Feel free to send me an email. I'm always happy to help or just chat in any way. But yeah, look forward to hearing from anyone.
Chelsea, thank you so much for being with us today.
Of course. Thank you again for having me.
All right.